Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, November 20th. I haven't done a podcast for a little bit, so I thought I'd come back on. Uh, today is Rip Day, Rip Day. And I want to rip two of my, how should I say, not favorite, like really stupid sports organizations. Okay. Uh, Philadelphia 76ers and the Dallas Cowboys. Okay. So this is why. Um, I'm a 4-for-4 guy. I'm a Philadelphia fan. I love the Phillies, as you can see, even though it's the off season. The Eagles, of course, the Flyers, and even the Sixers. But the Sixers are my least favorite, and I'll tell you why. Not that I don't like basketball, I do like basketball. But this organization is such a pain in the butt, you know? First of all, I go way back to the Dr. J days. Even before that, when the 76ers only won 9 games one year. What was that, back in 73 or something? And then before that, Will Chamberlain, and because I'm old. But, you know, uh, so it's not like I don't like the Sixers. I remember the championship team in '83. Dr. J, Moses Malone, and all those guys. Great team. But, the last 10 years, maybe, the Sixers have been a pain in the butt. And you know what really started it off was this process, with Sam Hinkie and all that nonsense stuff. Now, I'm not saying that's the way things are in the case. It's like that in almost every sport. Try to lose. I don't think it's right, but that's what it is. That's what it is to me. We try to lose to get a better draft pick. But, it's ridiculous because I think about when I was a kid growing up. The Phillies were always bad when I was growing up. The Eagles were a big sports uh, discussion. Football back in the early 60s wasn't like it is now. The Flyers weren't even in existence. The Sixers weren't either. So really all you had was basically baseball. That was the major sport. And the Phillies would lose every single year. So can you think about it? The Phillies didn't try to lose on purpose back in those days. They were just bad. They were just bad. They didn't have to try to lose. They lost anyway. But what teams are doing now is to purposely try and lose, which is stupid. I mean, you invest your time. Think of a fan. You invest your time to watch the games on TV. You invest your time. If you go to the games, you're buying a ticket, which isn't cheap. Parking, concessions, right? It's a lot of money to go to any sporting event anymore. So you invest a lot of yourself to go watch these teams. And it seems stupid to me to go and see a team that is actively trying to lose. And they are trying to lose. That is stupid. And that's what the Sixers have done for a long, long time. They've got this losing culture, this losing mentality. And I get it why they tried to do it so they could kind of rebound the team or rebuild the team. But I always thought that was stupid because if you have good scouting, if you are a good talent evaluator and you draft well and you sign really good free agents and make good trades, you don't have to tank. I mean, look at all the years that the team like the Lakers or the Celtics, they would never get into the lottery or get the number one draft pick. They would always draft like in the 20s or something, but you know, they would find good players. Why? Because they did their homework and they would find good players. The Sixers needed to tank. Okay, so they tanked for a long time. But the thing about tanking is, if you tank, you have to still make the draft pick. You have to be wise and savvy enough to pick the right guy. What good is it to try to lose all your games when you pick the wrong freaking guy, right? I can never understand it. And that didn't go too well for the Sixers. You know, some of the players that they drafted over the years, and they had it all set up for themselves. A lot of stockpiling number one draft picks, and and they screwed it up. They screwed it. So I was never too keen on the Sixers after that, because why should I invest my time and watch a team that's trying to lose? All right, you get past the process. Now you're supposed to start winning. They never did. They never started to win. Yeah, they won some games in the regular season, but did they ever get by the second round of the playoffs? Did they ever get to the Eastern Conference Finals? Did they ever get to the NBA Finals? Did they ever win an NBA championship with all this maneuvering around and losing on purpose? The answer is no, they never did. And now you have a team. We have Joel Embiid, who is lazy, and he is just sulking around. He's got a knee problem, but that was supposed to be fixed last year. But it was well enough to play in the Olympics this summer, even though he didn't play very much. He got his gold medal. And then what did he do between the end of the Olympics and the start of training camp? Nothing. Nothing. Apparently, he didn't work out. He didn't take care of himself. He didn't do the rehab he was supposed to do. And now, you hate to use the euphemism that he's like on one leg, but he really is. He can't move. He can't shoot anymore. He's slow. He's getting into fights with reporters and journalists. It's just a mess, the general manager, who has done really nothing during his tenure, Daryl Morey, with the Sixers. He's bringing in these old guys like Paul George. He looks like he's cooked. And Kenyon Martin and KJ Martin and blah blah, and all these. They just look, they're old and slow. Plus, the thing about the Sixers, you can talk about them as much as you want, about jumping and rebounding and ball play, turnovers, blah 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 blah. If they can't shoot the basketball, what good is it? And they can't shoot. That's the bottom line. The Sixers are terrible shooters. They can't shoot. And everybody's raving about this Jared McClain guy. He's a rookie. Give it a break. He's only played, 10 games so far? And they're proclaiming him the greatest thing since sliced bread. Well, that's what you do when you don't have anything else to cheer. Tyrese Maxey has been hurt. I mean, they're just a mess. They're 2-11. And the thing about the Sixers is, not only can't they shoot, but they look like dogs out there. They're not trying. They're not hustling. Nick Nurse looks like a loser, the coach. Everybody's saying fire Nick Nurse, fire Nick Nurse. Well, you know what? Trade Joel Embiid. You can't trade Joel Embiid. The stupid general manager gave him a contract extension, knowing that this guy has bad knees. 5 years, $62 million a year. $62 million a year. Bryce Harper's not even guys who are worth that. No one's really worth that kind of money. But guys who are actually helping their teams aren't making it. Joel Embiid is sitting his ass on the bench when he's not sitting at home eating, and he's making $62 million a year. Nobody wants him. How are you going to trade him? He's past his prime. He's got a big contract. He's hurt. Nobody wants him. They're stuck. But why would Daryl Morey give him that extension on the contract? He is so stupid. Everybody's yelling trade Embiid and fire. There's no fire Daryl Morey. It starts at the top. It always starts at the top. The best thing that can happen to the Sixers is this: that lackluster owner, Josh Harris, who's more happy about his Washington Commanders and his New Jersey Devils. He needs to sell the team, and to an owner who really cares about the Sixers, like another Pat Croce, right? It's ridiculous. It starts at the top. And if you have a general manager or basketball president, whatever he's calling himself, Daryl Morey, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's a poor talent manager. He signs old free agents. He gives out bad contracts. He makes bad trades, like the James Harden deal. If you got a guy like that who doesn't know what he's doing, he is setting this franchise back 5-10 years. I mean, what do you have to do? You tell me. Embiid looks like he's shot. All of a sudden, he's not going to wake up and his knee's going to be better. But Paul George was okay in his day. But what is he now? 34 years old? Did you give him this long contract? Tyrese Maxey's really good. He brings a lot of energy to the 76ers. But he's not the kind of player you build around. They have no bench at all. They let Tobias Harris walk, which was great. But they have no bench. They are just a mess. So is it any surprise that they started off year 2-11? And tonight is the last game of their road trip to go to Memphis. They're going to lose. They're going to lose. I don't understand why they are favored to win in Memphis. Memphis beat them when, a week or two ago when the Grizzlies were here in town. I just don't get it. And I don't see any way out because you're stuck with Joel Embiid. You're stuck with Paul George. You're not going to trade Tyrese Maxey. Even if he plays in the backcourt with Jeremy McClain, that's a small backcourt. It is just the team is just not put together right. I mean, there is no scoring. The Sixers are about the worst team in scoring in the NBA. Isn't that the purpose of basketball, professional basketball, putting the ball in the basket? So no wonder that I'm sick of the Sixers. I have Sixers shirts, I have Sixers hats. I won't wear them. I'm embarrassed to wear them. This team, they were on the cusp of doing something great. They lost game 6 of the playoffs at home to Boston a couple years ago. And that started them down wrong. They were up 3-2 on Boston. They had a chance to close out Boston, and they did do it. And then they went back to Boston Garden for Game 7, and the Celtics destroyed. That destroyed the franchise because that was probably the best chance they had to get out of freaking second round and maybe try to make a run at the finals. It's only sports, okay? It's not life or death. But don't be conned. Don't be conned. I hate when people are so gullible and they get conned by other people. Don't be conned. If you're a Sixers fan, great. If you want to spend your money on tickets, waste your time watching them on TV, that's great. But at least back in the process days, you had some hope that maybe if the team got in the lottery and maybe if they got a top draft pick, that maybe you would get a good player if the Sixers picked the right guy. No, you don't even have that. You don't have that. And it's pretty brutal because a whole season lies ahead. It's only the middle of November. You've got the whole season ahead of this putrid junk slot basketball. And it did have to be this way. It did not have to be this. So for fans, if only you had people who ran the Sixers who knew what the hell they were doing. I mean, this goes all the way back. Don't give me Brett Brown. Brett Brown was the guy who traded Mikal Bridges or drafted him to the Phoenix Suns. I mean, come on. No, Brett Brown was no ball and cherries either as a coach. Well, really, you could say the heyday, other than 83, was back around Iverson's time, 99, 2000, 2001, when the Sixers actually made a run. You know, now that was a team with a lot of heart because that version of the 76ers wasn't the most talented team around. I mean, think about it, other than McKinley, Deep, the Tumble, no, and Allen Iverson, there wasn't much on that team. What, Eric Snow, Aaron McKinney? And yet they played with a lot of heart. Defense was the name of the game. Larry Brown was the coach. And, they played tough basketball. Everybody was excited about the Sixers back then. Think about it. Yeah, people had Sixer flags on their cars, and it was springtime, and they were in the playoffs, and everybody felt good about themselves and the city and this Philadelphia 76ers. Where did that go? After Pat Coaching sits on the team, everything seemed to go down the drain. Now you have a team that can't even get out of the second round. Will they even make the playoffs this year? I mean, the over-under for wins was around 51. There's no way they're going to win 51 games now. Come on. They are just a pathetic, organization. And as I said, other than the basketball part of it, I have no pity on the 76 organization because we knew what they were doing as far as trying to lose purpose, and they still jack up places and now they're trying to do it. You know, really, this is like the worst part of trying to do it. Strong on the city of London. When you two together and we lose it, we got seriously the time to do it up. And it sounds like that probably because now Sector has stepped in and said, no, you can't do it. They can't provide buses in some ways and things like that. You get to this new with Chinatown when this new meeting is supposed to be. So who knows if that'll happen. You know what? Let the Sixers go. I know you might be a Sixer fan, but think about it this way. Get it up. Let the Sixers go. If they want to go to Camden or if they want to go somewhere else, let them go. Because you don't think the NBA is not going to not have a team in Philadelphia. It's too big of a fan base, too big of a TV market. If the Sixers ever did leave the city of Philadelphia, don't you think the NBA would give us an expansion franchise? And there's this expansion that's like starting over. Well, maybe, but maybe that's what this city needs to do. Because right now, it's almost like you have an expansion team. A poorly run expansion team. At least with an expansion team, you start off fresh and you have draft picks and you have new people running the show, right? So Sixers want to go, let them go. They're not satisfied with, to me, I go down to the Center. I go down all those stadiums down there. The Lake, Citizens Bank Park, there's nothing wrong with them. Sure, they need to build it up down there, which they've been lacking in doing. But finally, I believe Comcast and the Phillies are going to start building things down there, like more restaurants, hotel. It's supposed to be an amphitheater down there. And from what I heard, in the 2030s, they're going to get rid of the Wells Fargo Center and build a bigger arena, a more accessible, a more modern arena. So why don't the Sixers just stay there with the Flyers until that time comes? No, they want their own arena. They're greedy. I just don't see it. So I had to rip into the Sixers because they are such a pathetic organization right now. And actually have been for a long time. And as I said, as with anything, guys, it starts at the top. I mean, look at the Phillies. What, 10 years ago? We're floundering. Ruben Amaro was the GM. Matt Klentak then was the GM. They had no future. It looked pretty bleak. You get new, you know what? Get new guys in charge. Dave Dombrowski came in. Took him a few years, but he's got things turned around. You get new guys in charge. All of a sudden, you have hope, right? That's what the 76ers need. Yeah, let me rip the other team that I came with. The Dallas freaking Cowboys. Did you watch those Cowboys? Did you watch those Cowboys play on Monday night against the rival Houston Texans? They are pathetic. I mean, they can't score worth a damn. They're blaming it on all the injuries. Injuries, my ass. The Dallas Cowboys weren't good even when Dak Prescott, overrated Dak Prescott, was still quarterbacking the team before he got hurt. They stink. They have no clue how to build a team down there. They can't run the ball. They can't stop the ball. The defense is awful. They paid Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, a quarterback and receiver. Really? They're not that good. They're not that good. I mean, if we're talking about Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or somebody, sure, you lock them up because you know they're a good quarterback and they have a great future. But Dak Prescott, really? Jerry Jones, Mr. Plastic Face. Did you ever see his face? It kind of hardly even moves. It's like, he's had so many facelifts. He has no clue what he's doing. And, now he's saying, oh, well, we'll see about Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy stinks. He's a dope. Personally, as an Eagles fan, I wish the Cowboys gave him an extension. If you're an Eagles fan, you want the Cowboys to keep because he has no clue what he's doing. America's team, no. They're just pathetic. And I would be surprised if they don't win another game the rest of the year. The thing is with the Cowboys, how about that Thanksgiving, huh? As you sit down and eat your turkey in the afternoon, you'll be watching the Cowboys play the Giants. Wow, what a game that's going to be, huh? Don't throw up your Thanksgiving dinner. Pathetic versus pathetic. Even their stadium is falling apart. Did you see that before the game on Monday? Some steel rafter thing fell off the roof. Good thing it didn't fall off the roof during the game. But that's a perfect metaphor for the state of the Dallas Cowboys organization. Not only is their stadium falling apart, their whole franchise, their organization is falling apart. Well, pathetic Dallas Cowboys. And the worst part about the Dallas Cowboys, as you probably know, is their fans. They're so arrogant and so cocky. Even Dallas Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl since the early 90s, the mid 90s, 95, I guess. What the hell? Oh, and yet they're acting like their crap doesn't smell. No, Dallas Cowboy fans are brutal people. I don't know, sports fans. So, are they worse than Met fans? I don't know. That's pretty close. Met fans are really. Met fans are the most arrogant, clueless fans there are, except for Cal. Anyway, so Eagles already played them one time. They got one more game with them here in Philadelphia after Christmas. And it's like everybody's jumping on the bandwagon now to play the Cowboys. Like Washington plays them this week. Washington is like 10-point favorites. Washington, really? It's like, how the mighty have fallen, huh? Huh? Dallas Cowboys. Jesus. Well, maybe this will teach, people a lesson. Don't put the Cowboys on national TV. You're going to get stuck. Oh, putrid. Well, I had to come on. I had to, because we have a pathetic organization right here in town, the 76ers, who maybe they'll win 20 games this year. Maybe. And you have a equally pathetic organization known as the Dallas Cowboys. But do they have 3 wins now? If they win 5 games, they'll be lucky. They'll be lucky. They win 5 games. I'll take my wheelchair outside and I'll wheel around the block in the snow on Christmas Day. I better put my snow chains on from it. Anyway, hey, did you know I saw something yesterday before it's been yesterday was 25 years to the day, 1999, November 19th, that the first $1 million prize was given out on the TV game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? 25 years ago. Some guy named John Carpenter, I was a carpenter, you were a name, won the first $1 million. That's back when Regis Philbin, remember Regis Philbin, was the host. And I used to like the show back then. People used to really look forward to the show. The ratings, it used to be like the #1 rated show. Long time. Just be a good show. It had drama, education, and it wasn't scripted. It was just, it was a good show. What? So the winning question, I saw this yesterday. See if you know. The winning question that won the first $1 million in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Which former president, which president of the United States appeared on the TV show Laugh-In? And they gave you 4 choices. What? LBJ, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon. Who appeared on Laugh-In? I noticed that when I watched it. I used to watch that and sporadically. I don't, it was okay. But I remember this, it was Richard Nixon. And the guy got it right $1 million. Richard Nixon showed up on Laugh-In one time. And do you remember the catchphrases on there? Sock it to me. And they would have Richard Dawson, the guy who went on to host Family Feud. He was on that show. And Artie Johnson, Goldie Hawn, Joanne Worley. Oh my God. Talk about names from the past, huh? But anyway, so Richard Nixon was the president who appeared on Laugh-In. And that was the quest. But can you believe 25 years already? Wow, this time fly. A quarter of a century ago. I remember from yesterday, I'll tell you. Anyway, okay, everybody, have a great day. Peace and love. Have a great week. I'll be back again, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Yeah, I want to talk about a movie in a week again. I think I have one in mind. So come on and let's have a little fun, huh? We'll talk about the movie in a week. New movies are coming out this weekend. Are you going to go see any of them? Wicked is coming out. Supposedly it's a good movie. It's a musical. But I don't know. I'm just so used to the old Wizard of Oz, Nothing should touch them. Maybe I'm old school, but there are certain things in life you shouldn't fool with, And The Wizard of Oz was one of those perfect movies that you can't really improve upon. So just let it go. I don't know. And then, speaking of which, Gladiator 2 is coming in this weekend. Gladiator 2. Apparently, that's getting mixed reviews. Not as good as the original Gladiator, which came out in 2000, Ridley Scott. Now, that was a movie I liked. I liked Gladiator. It was fun. The action scenes were fun. And it was heartbreaking, too. There was a lot of drama involved. Ridley Scott, great effects. Well, for what they're saying, 2 doesn't live up to 1. And really, when you think about it, there aren't that many sequels that do live up to the original. Once again, Hollywood is trying to improve on classics. How can you improve on a classic? You can't. So just let well enough alone. Unfortunately, in Hollywood, there aren't as many original ideas. So you get all these sequels and retreads, and that's what Hollywood is all about. And that's a shame. So I'll see you guys later. Take care. Peace and love. I'll talk to you again soon. Don't forget to watch those Sixers tonight. Oh my God. I can't wait for the Phoenix to get done. As pissed off as I was with them at the end of the year, I miss them. I want the Phillies to come back. And of course, our Eagles. On Sunday night football, playing the Los Angeles Rams out in Southern California. Should be a good game. Eagles have won 6 in a row, baby. Going for 7 this weekend, Sunday night. Can't wait. Okay, everybody, take care. I'll talk to you again soon. Have a great day. Bye for now.